So let's have a semi-long-winded talk about what I'm doing and not doing with this channel in 2026. Things that have passed, things that have already happened, and let's do it partially from Infinity Nikki, mainly because I'm wearing Verdant Melodies, which I have pulled for a very, very long time ago with the new 4 stars horns, and I think that it looks very, very pretty, and this is a fairly pleasant visual to stare at in between me inserting a whole bunch of screenshots depending on what I'm talking about. So let's start here. There is a longer, more dramatic video that I'm gonna link in the description down below if you want to know exactly what happened, but I will just raise this comment and I will hide the person who made it. It's just gonna be there on the screen and you can stop the video and read if you want. It's a two-parter. Effectively, part of Infinity Nikki community cannot forgive me for ever making critical videos, even when they were deserved. And part of Infinity Nikki community cannot forgive me for making non-critical videos. Effectively, one side is convinced that I'm hype surfing whenever I'm just expressing my personal opinions. If I go, this is bad, and a lot of people agree, but this is good, and a lot of people agree, that's hype surfing, not being a genuine person, even though if you do that without having a platform, it's just called being normal. So I'm very confused about that. And of course there is the other side, which is displayed on screen, that's just won't ever forgive me. Ever. To a point where people will go through my content, find the negative content, and will say, case in point, the fact that this exists is a problem. And then I have to point out that they had to scroll through 30 positive shorts to get there, and, well, the reaction is all the same. Which I'm gonna bring to a further point, but for now, it makes me feel like I'm ostracized from the community entirely, and that I have no business participating in it, especially if I want to preserve my mental health, which kind of makes me feel like I am pushed to the sidelines.
Lovely sunny day.
Reddit has been my primary platform to gauge the opinions of what people have been thinking about this game, the people that aren't me, and I don't really have a good replacement for this space, which means that I am now a lot more isolated in what I can and cannot discuss. As such, covering monthly complaints from people or what the community is thinking about will absolutely have to go away as a video, because I will have no means to make it, and judging from the reaction, it's probably better if I don't make those kind of videos. All of the talking points from here on end will have to come exclusively from me, and I won't have that connection to the wider world. It's kind of like being isolated in your own bubble, which isn't very good, but it's gaming in 2025, or I guess 2026. Like, what can you do? Secondly, I want to bring up this screenshot of a well-meaning person that tried to explain to me the difference of existing as a person or as a brand. And let me just fix my screen a little bit because there is a tiny bit of a screen tear. Hey! So, first of all, I have to put this out there. I'm not a brand. I am absolutely a person, and I come from a background where being a brand is rather unusual. But it just seems like it's the kind of thing that people expect these days. And if, once again, you can just pause and read the whole thing if you want, because this person didn't mean anything bad by it. This is the sentence that kind of rings me the alarm bells of where we are when it comes to social media in the current day. I think a lot of creators struggle with the transition and forming healthy boundaries around their content, and that's why so many content creators have terrible mental health, and say being a content creator made it worse. In fact, that's why I quit. Because I was taking everything too personally. I also quit because stuff I said without thinking ended up having huge negative consequences, and I didn't feel safe after realizing what a huge impact I could unintentionally have. So while this person is well-meaning, the problem here is not that everybody on the internet should become a brand. The problem is that this is the kind of environment that we're living in for some reason. The problem is that a whole bunch of people apparently can't control themselves online and can't separate a person from an actual branded entity. If you see a person, they're not McDonald's. If you see a person, they're not Infold. They're not even a game. They are a person. And here's the thing. I started this channel 15, approaching 16 years ago now. And let me just pull up a little picture as to what is the kind of thing that I like. In this picture, I don't really want to be Imfa. Imfa makes challenge videos that are very professionally edited. Imfa puts in hundreds upon hundreds of hours into every single one of these. It is very hard to actually be Imfa. I don't even want to be Moon Sugar Cake. Moon Sugar Cake is overworking herself to all hell, and she deserves her platform to skyrocket. I put her alongside the kind of creators like Little Simsy that has been a staple in the Sims community for a very long time, and she churned out videos on the kind of speed that I can only admire. She streamed practically every day. She made videos playing The Sims. She made videos talking about The Sims. And she would put out 1 to 2 videos every single day like clockwork. This kind of high-intensity content production, it will take a toll on you, and I have my utmost admiration to people that do this kind of thing, but I am neither one nor the other. When I started my channel, and this is actually kind of really on topic because this shows to you the kind of environment that I came into as a creator and the kind of people that I admired and aspired to be. I wanted to be like Grimmeth. You know what Grimmeth does? Plays games. In reasonable little segments and uploads it to YouTube. It used to be called Let's Playing. Before you could do it on YouTube, people did it in forums. People took pictures of the game that they're playing, and they would have a little write-up about what they did, what the story was like, how they reacted to it, like their thoughts about it. And they would post about it in a thread. And then when the ability to make videos of video games came out, what a novel idea. You could do it with a camera. You could film the game with a recording software, a camera, and you could place it online, and you could narrate it live while showing people what happened. And that was amazing, because you no longer needed to take screenshots and do the full write-up. You could react almost live and then like post it online. When I came into the scene of YouTube, I admired people like 1F Jeff. If you're gonna search up that account, poor bloke, had a lot of health issues, though managed to actually father several children while being incredibly sick, and that is also something to be completely admired. as somebody that struggles with health issues to a point where I'm pretty sure that I'm never gonna be a mother. But anyway, he dropped off mainly because of life reasons. There was Variax, and I'm pretty sure that Variax is still a thing. I just don't watch him anymore. It wasn't my brand of humor entirely. There was Grimmeth. I'm still subscribed to Grimmeth. I find Grimmeth to be a very, very chill presence. These people were big participants in a very specific Let's Play forum. I now don't even remember the name, but these are the kind of people that inspired me. I wanted to take out a camera and I wanted to film the games that I enjoyed playing, even with my very broken accent. And when I came into the scene, you didn't really have live streaming as such. It wasn't really such a big thing. And YouTube was very limited in the kind of intervals that you could upload a video in. It was 10 minutes at first, then they expanded it to 15 minutes, I think, before going further. It was a very big deal as a creator to choose whether you're doing 10-minute increments or 15-minute increments when it came to your videos at one point, believe it or not. And then the internet moved on. Like, the people that I admired didn't necessarily move on, but the internet moved on. Cool kids, at the same time as I was watching Let's Plays and doing Let's Plays, they were watching cooler personas like PewDiePie. And PewDiePie at one point kind of stopped playing games. At points, he started doing social commentary. At first I think he did game commentary, then he started doing social commentary. Then the guy moved on to have a life with his wife and child, which is completely fine and admirable. And the internet moved on from just watching other people play a game and enjoy playing a game, and I didn't. I feel like I very much got left behind, but that was the essence and the starter of my channel. And over time, because I was left behind in the dust so badly, I could do whatever I wanted with it. Which means that at points it became spirituality, at points it became game critique, at points it became reviews, but if you take everything that I ever wanted it to be, I want it to be Grimmeth. And I think that is a very important point for me to take away. Now, another important point for me is that I hated the silence that came with sticking to the format that I most love. I can take a screenshot of a random playlist of mine of just Let's Play videos. I can show you the average views that I was getting after the whole hype and craze died down and the internet moved on to bigger and better things, I guess. Well, I didn't. It's kind of soul-crushing to want to share something and receive no comments, no likes or dislikes, or like 2 likes and 1 dislike, or like a like and a dislike, and you don't even know what these people liked or disliked. They just left a thumbs up or thumbs down and moved on with their life. And like barely any views. So you feel like you really want to share something, but every single time when you try, there's no one to share it with and there's no one to hear you. I don't quite want to go back to that either, because that's really upsetting, honestly. So I'm gonna compromise between what I want to be and what I am and where I am right now. And this schedule is effectively a compromise. So what am I doing? Well, gang, on Mondays we're playing games. I do want to go back to streaming and finishing Infinity Nikki's storyline. Then I do want to do 1.2 and 1.5. And I do want to do at least one stream of just building a house. And after that point, I want to shelve it until it receives story updates. It's a game that I'm gonna continuously come back to, but Mondays are not necessarily for that. Instead of stocking up on just talking videos, I'm also gonna stock up on No Stream Mondays series, which is gonna be old school Let's Play videos, and I'm gonna explore all of the retro games that I haven't really had a chance to explore, such as Lara Croft. I have Lara Croft 1, 2, and 3 remastered, and I bought it in order to play it on stream or to share it with YouTube, and I just never did. I never did Crash Bandicoot, I never did Spyro. I've never done quite a lot of games. I never did Fallout 1 and 2, I never did Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. There are a lot of games that are popular and are popular for a reason that come from a time where I either had no access to these games or I was too little to know that they existed, if I existed at all, and that is retro games is something that I wanna explore. In my No Stream Mondays series, I will likely be exploring the retro games that are not as long as an RPG is, so we're looking maybe at Half-Life, maybe we're looking at Lara Croft 1, 2, 3, maybe we're looking at like Sonic, that sort of thing. And I'm not gonna be too interested in how these videos are performing, because this is for me. This is for my soul, and this is the point as to what the channel is and was, and I want it to continue being. So on Mondays when I cannot stream, that's what I will do. When I go back to streaming, I'll finish Infinity Nikki, I'll go back to playing Oblivion Remastered for a while. After that, streams is when I want to explore bigger RPGs in general, because they require quite a big time investment, and it would be kinda hard to do an RPG in 30-minute increments uploaded once a week. Especially when that upload is not guaranteed, that upload is just there when there isn't the live stream. The games that I played and enjoyed, but I never streamed, and I kinda wanted to, were things like Witcher 1 and 2. I want to visit Planetscape Torment because it's a big RPG and I've never played it, and I think a stream would be an excellent way for me to do that. So, to reiterate, on Monday, we play games in some shape or form. Infinity Nikki now gets restricted mostly to the Wednesday slot. It means that in a patch cycle, if the patch cycles are the same length as they used to be, I'm gonna be producing like 4 videos. And that's fine with me. It's mostly in the Wednesday slot, because I am having a Tuesday and a Thursday that I'm leaving open for a free-for-all. This means I need to get more than 4 things off my chest in a month. Perfect. That's what those slots are for. I wanna get a hang of a different gaming franchise and cover it the same way that I'm covering Infinity Nikki. Perfect. That's what those slots are for. I have to rant about the state of the gaming industry, or even make a once in a while spirituality video, or even show you my nature pictures, which I am still gonna be doing once per year, because yes, that's also what I do on this channel. Believe it or not. Perfect, that's what Tuesdays and Thursdays are for. I don't commit to using these slots, they just exist in case I need them. And that's fine with me. And Fridays, RuneScape is there to live for the foreseeable several years. I am committed to actually doing every quest in RuneScape. Sometimes I might churn out more than 1 quest per video, sometimes I might not. I'm not gonna force myself, it's gonna go at the rate that whatever it's gonna go at. And I'm also not gonna be worrying about the views. Not restricting myself to being an Infinity Nikki commentary channel, both critical and positive, does mean that I'm gonna be tanking my channel effectively, and not tying myself to the wider community And not sharing my videos on Reddit also means that I'm gonna be tanking the chance to grow my channel. But I've been here for 15 years, and I think I'm okay with that. If we're in an age where every person is being treated as an influencer, I'm fine with saying that I'm not a brand, I'm not a company, and I don't produce just a singular type of video. I'm fine with just being a person that has a passion for gaming. That's how I would like to see myself, and that's how I would like to be seen. And that's the whole point of this video. I'm gonna try and post just the picture for my schedule as a community post, because I'm not entirely sure that everybody's gonna be interested in watching a 21-minute video, but I kinda needed to tell you how I got this far. If you're interested, I have a Discord. You can bring me Infinity Nikki issues that are pressing for you personally to me. That way I don't need to go through Reddit, and I can also talk about those without just isolating myself entirely from the community. It kind of feels like I am my own bubble, and I hate that. But at the same time, if I am gonna be treated as a person that has to pick a side and that can't just have things that she likes and things that she dislikes about a game, then I have no choice but to step away from a community like that. And that means being kinda on the isolated side, and I suppose that's gonna have to be okay. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for my Patreon supporters that have been supporting me throughout my journey of YouTube. No matter what I do on it, it's really appreciated. Thank you for all the kind words that you guys have left me in the comment section of the video. It is appreciated. Thank you for all the people that tried giving their advice. I understand that it was well-meaning, even if I can't really act upon it because I'm just the wrong person for it. Still, thank you for investing your time and energy into that, and I hope that I'm gonna see you for the year 2026, and also I hope that you have a very great holiday, because it is the holiday season now. So thank you for watching. I hope I'm gonna see you in my other videos. Toodaloo.